Welcome. We are live.
Welcome, people.
Welcome to the Ask Willie and Eugene Business Show. Welcome to the show every Thursday, and we are kicking it off. We are live. Welcome to everyone. Just a few house rules as usual before we get started. If your sound cuts out or you have connection issues, just refresh your browser and you should be good to go again. Those any other browsers that you have open, ask the kids to get off of Netflix so that we can stream live. It doesn't affect our thing, it's just from your side to affect it. So let's see who's on the show today. Mark,
We've got
Yvonne, Vanessa, George.
I'll be back, George.
My mom's actually visiting now. She drove up from PE for some medical stuff as well, but my mom stays in PE as well. So welcome, Melita. Nico, what's up?
Vanessa, welcome.
So welcome to the show for the one or two newbies that's not part of our Mastermind group, Mastermind network. Welcome. If this is your first joining of our show, welcome. And just hope you have a great time. At the end of it, we're going to answer a few questions as well, but we also answer questions as you go through. So if you do have any questions, please ask the questions. If you're not part of our Mastermind group yet and you're not part of our network, like Sonia, Niku, Vanessa, Yvonne, Mark, everyone part of our Mastermind group, welcome, guys. Good seeing you again. And today we've got a special guest.
Special guest.
We thought that good that you hear about us, you know about us from EHQ, and you know about us from our webinars, but no one actually knows what our background is and who we are, how we got about launching EHQ. So I thought it's a good, or myself and Willie thought it's a good idea to actually introduce ourselves, where you can ask us questions about how we got to the point where we are now, and just what's our drive, what's our passion, what's the point of running EHQ, dropping EHQ.
Yeah, and it's important, Eugene. All of us has actually got a story, and you know what they say: stories, facts tell, and stories sell. So that's also a nice, just from a business perspective, is if you can build some rapport with your potential clients and customers. It's something which will take you a lot further than when you start doing hard selling and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's important.
People do business with people at the end of the day. So we recommend everyone get to grips with your story and get to know your story and what story you want to tell. Because people buy from people, regardless what business. Even if you sell to the biggest business, you still have to go see a person that you have to sell to. And if you can't build that rapport, build that trust, then it makes the sale that much more difficult going forward. So really, just for the new viewers that joining us today for the first time, I'll just give a quick introduction. Who is EHQ and what do we do? What do we stand for? And why should they join the show?
Thank you, Eugene. So for everyone that's new to the show, so myself and Eugene, we've got several businesses, but a couple of years ago, we kind of did a project together, and after the project, we got talking, and we actually discovered that our passion for entrepreneurship is so big, and we really want to just help other guys to make this successful journey in the online world. And that's kind of how EOH got born. It actually started off as something else. It's actually started off as an automation business, which we kind of evolved into EHQ, which is Entrepreneur HQ, the house of the entrepreneurs. And the purpose of our tribe, I don't want to say organization, because we want to build a tribe, we want to build a community, is to connect digital entrepreneurs across the world and help them make this journey to this online world. So we as a company ourselves, we do quite a lot of work for big companies. We do digital marketing, we do e-commerce, we do business coaching and mindset and stuff like that. Then we also build sales funnels. Oh, and then the community is just in general about entrepreneurship, and it's really a lonely journey until you actually get to the place and where you belong, where people listen to you. We've talked about this quite often. Our spouses are probably sick and tired of listening to all our business ideas. So So this is a great platform to speak about those ideas and get some.
Big part of it is you're the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. We keep saying this. And the biggest problem for us as well is where do you find that connection, that community where you can actually connect with someone that's on a high level or someone that knows something that you don't know. Where do you find that community? And that is, I think, where a big part of our passion also lies, is building this community where together everyone starts growing, and as one person grows, they lift the other person up, and then as the other person grows, they lift this person up, and after a period of time, after a year or two, you're in a totally different place and you don't even know how you got there, but it's because of the people that you spend your time with.
Exactly. It's that collective knowledge and stuff that just constantly takes you up that little bit. And I think one of the things that I realized is guys I have these big dreams, but they don't go and jot down what's the little steps they need to make to get there. Actually, that's where everything falls off.
2 years later, they still have the big dream and nothing ever happened.
Yeah, action, eh?
So guys, we'll give everyone an opportunity as well later in the webinar. If you do want to join our mastermind, we normally charge $450 a month for it during lockdown. So from the start of lockdown, we've decided to make it a once-off lifetime fee for $750. So you pay $750 once off and you join our mastermind group. It's ridiculously cheap compared to other mastermind groups, 10 times more. And there's not nearly the level of interaction that myself and Willie give. And the guys on the group will know as well. We are there constantly. We are there updating. We're learning on we're on a path of continuous learning, a path of continuous growth. And we want to share that. So we both have this big passion for learning, and we've got a big passion to share everything we know with everyone. And we share it without any expectation. There's no expectation. We don't hold anything back. We share completely open. So it's really cool. If you do want to join, like I say, $750 instead of the $499 or $450 that we charged per month, it will go back up to the $450 per month after the lockdown. And then on top of that, we'll also give you our courses. So we've got a course on how to market on Facebook, how we market on Facebook. And we've got a course on how to build your online store, how to run your sales funnel, set up a sales funnel. The biggest mistake that we see marketers make in general is they want to sell direct. There's a process behind selling. There's a strategy behind digital marketing. It's not putting an ad up and then you sell your product. There's actually a process that you have to go through. There's lead magnets. There's your opt-in offer. There's how do you convert them into the next offer. There's this whole process of selling. So if you do want to get into that, we'll give you that course. We'll give you the sales funnels, the Facebook, and then you'll get access to our mastermind group for $750. Melita, our connection very bad. Maybe just refresh your browser quick. Then see if it comes back. Otherwise, just check that there's nothing else in the house consuming bandwidth. Yeah, so that is our group, guys. So we'll give you an option to join in a bit. And if you do want to join, it's a really cool opportunity. You're not going to get that value for $750 anywhere else in South Africa, and definitely not overseas. So if you do want to join, like I say, it's the best offer in South Africa at the moment. And we do it because we care. We're not doing it to make a profit. Willie's our accountant, and he can tell you we don't make a profit out of EHQ. It's purely there as our give back sort of business. Awesome, guys. So I think, Willie, we are ready to get going. Oh, Willie's frozen. Willie, are you there? Okay, I think Willie's frozen. So while Willie's frozen, maybe I'll put up the offer. So if anyone wants to join, you can click. You'll see on the right-hand side, there is an option to join the mastermind. And then as we go through, today we're going to talk about coaching. Now, coaching is one of my biggest passions. Coaching is probably the part that I love the most about business, is this personal growth, this personal development. And there's a process behind that as well. So today we're going to talk a bit about how I got into coaching, how I got into business. And please write down any questions that you have on the side, and write down any questions that you want me to answer at the end of this webinar. So we thought it's a good idea that I spill the beans on myself and how I got started. And I think while we wait for Willie, Yeah, at least Willie froze on a smile. At least he didn't have a funny face when he froze. I see Willie's joining back on. Yes, don't you just love the internet? We've had so many internet issues during this period. George, joining EHQ, best investment in your personal development. Thanks, George. Thanks for that testimonial as well. So, Willie, I think we are good to go. Do you want to?
Cool. I'm back.
Just move my seat.
Yeah, Eugene. Do you want to do me a favor and go call the next giant for us, please? So, guys, there we go. So, guys, it's a great honor for me to welcome today a formidable entrepreneur. He's a top-class business coach. He's the owner of several businesses. He's the co-founder of EHQ and my partner. His friends know him as Van the Man. Eugene van der Merwe, welcome to the show.
Thank you. And the crowd goes wild.
Yes, Eugene, welcome to the show. Guys, we thought it well that we actually share our stories as well. So I'm going to be interviewing Eugene today. So Eugene, before we start off, and we really want to jump, we want to talk a lot about business coaching today, but there was a journey that got you to this point, and I think we just spoke about stories. All of us have a story, and I think we speak about it quite a lot. It's like you had that burning desire of becoming a business owner, and being an employee just did not cut it. So tell the viewers a bit about who are you, where you come from, and how you actually got to become an entrepreneur.
Now you want me to do this in less than an hour.
For everyone that's on the show, Eugene can talk quite a lot. So I'll just say time out.
So just stop me when it gets too much. So to start off, I'll start when my business career actually kicked off, or when I started being an entrepreneur. I think I was an entrepreneur at heart. So I was the guy going to the market 5 o'clock on a Saturday morning. I was probably 12, 13 years old.
Were you selling stuff to your school chummies?
Yeah, and I was selling the fruit. I made the fruit baskets. At one stage, I had a hubcap business. Before you had all the mags, all the cars had hubcaps. So I drive around picking them up with my bicycle, driving next to the highway, collecting them, fixing them, and then selling it in sets for like $100 for a set. And that was, yes, for me, that was a lot of money. We grew up fairly poor, so it's $100 for me when I was growing up, 12, 13, 14 was out of this world. So that's where it started. And then my first real business was a business called Fragrance Fountain. It was, you know, these knockoff perfumes that you sell.
Are you one of them?
Yeah. I think I was probably the first person that I ever knew that did it. So I found out by chance that you can buy the oils directly from the place that manufactures the perfume. So you can buy the oils and you can manufacture it. You're just not allowed to call it the same name. And then you've got different dilutions that you can set it up, etc. I made a crap load of money with that. Before everyone else started doing it, then the price started coming down in competition. And that's one business that I decided as well, I'll never again sell on price. I want to sell on value, not on price. And I took basically boxes I gave guys on Simon stock, and they would take it into their companies with 100 or 200 people working in the company, and every Friday they would collect, sell it to them for like $70 or $80, and they sell it for $120. And each Friday I'll go collect the cash. So it was a pure cash business. And before I got married, my wife walked in, so I was about to propose to her. And she walked into the bedroom, and I had these packs of 2,500 Rand packs sitting on the bed. So I was counting out the money for our honeymoon, for our wedding ring. And she walked in, like, Eugene, there's something you want to tell me. Are you selling packs or
powder?
And then, so that was my first real business where I started making 20, 30, 50,000 Rand a month profits on the business. And it was a sideline business. And that just got my hunger going. Every day I stopped that business, and then I had another business called construction with a few buddies. That was a bit more difficult to do as well is being friends first and then being business partners. I always recommend you first business partners, then your friends.
Extremely important.
Yeah. So that was a funny business. We started going off on that, and it didn't really ever get off the ground because we're all buddies and no one wants to do the actual work. And then I studied IT and I worked in IT. And then one day I just decided, you know what, it's time to take the plunge full on. It was scary. You got a line there in the background. It was scary with just taking that plunge. I'm a very impulsive person. So when I decided, the next day I handed in my resignation. No business plan, no idea what I was going to do, just doing it.
Just like entrepreneurs do it, right?
Yeah. Woke up 5 o'clock every morning when I started the business, no clients, and I started driving. I didn't know where I was driving to. I didn't have clients to see. I just drove. And funny enough, when you start driving, then your mind starts going into the thing. Okay, somewhere now. So where do I need to drive? Really, don't you just want to check if there's a lot of background noise there?
Hold on.
So it's making it difficult to. Yeah, Mark's also saying there's background noise. So yeah, that's my journey. And then I started my first business called MCP Networking. That later merged with another company, a large company, Time Technologies, to form Time IT Technologies. Through the process, I've had my coach now for about 8 years. So I've spent a couple of $100,000, probably close to 600,000-700,000 in the last 6-7 years on personal development and coaching. Pay a couple of grand per hour to see my coach, and I've been seeing him for the last 8 years. And through that last 8 years, I started realizing how important coaching is, and then I started studying coaching, going on coaching courses, and then I did a 1-year diploma in coaching, and then started my coaching business. Out of that, I started having to market myself. So I ran my first seminar, my entrepreneur seminar in 2014. I actually went onto Facebook and I saw my first landing page and stuff like that, where I ran my first webinar or my first seminar in 2014. So since then, I've been running Facebook ads and I've been running seminars, and I had to market my own business. Through that, built up a massive amount of knowledge on digital marketing and e-commerce and that sort of stuff, and then launched Time Digital. And through that, met Willie a couple of years ago. And that's where we worked on a project, because I wanted to automate everything and link it into an accounting system. And no accountant could help me link the technical side with the accounting side. And just through that process, I met Willie, and then I realized Willie knows more about the tech than I do. I was like, jeez, I'm a technical guy, right? I have IT businesses, multiple offices, teams, everything. So it's a decent business. And then met Willie, and he knows more about it than me. I was like, okay, I think I've met my match here. So yeah, that's my entrepreneur journey. And then we started EHQ.
Sure. So you've really been around the block, Eugene. Cool. So one of the things we want to chat about is this business coaching today. But you mentioned something whilst explaining how you started your entrepreneurial journey, which I want you to explain to the viewers. You said in that first business you had, that's where you decided you'll rather sell value as opposed to price. And I think that's extremely, extremely important. A lot of guys start businesses, we all do. And the first thing we do is we undercut our prices and we sell stuff cheaper because we think that is actually a differentiator, which is not the truth. So before we move on to the coaching part and questioning about this, I just explain these guys, why is it so important?
It's value-based. If you can package your product and explain the value that's in the product, that determines the price of something. So someone's giving away their money in exchange for the money. They're not buying a product, they're buying a benefit. How is this going to change my life? How is this going to solve my problem? How is this going to enhance my life? So it either needs to change your life, it either needs to solve a problem. So you've got your light's broken, you need to go buy a new light bulb. It needs to fix a problem. Or it's a pleasure business. So you have to, or you're selling perfumes or luxury clothing or whatever the case may be. So if you take a t-shirt, for example, this t-shirt costs $300 or $400. You can buy another golf shirt from Mr. Price for $80. What's the difference between the two? How can one be $80 and one $400 just because it's got a logo on? Most of it's probably made in the same factory. It's the perception of value. So that's where I decided, through that, I noticed our competition is driving down the price. And if you're selling product for product, it's very, very difficult to match that or to have a differentiating factor. Then you have to start thinking outside of the box to bundle products and adding something of value for free. So as Chappies did. So Chappies is selling resistant bands. You can buy the resistant bands. 90% of people won't use them effectively because they don't know how to use it. So Chappies developed a course around it, and now all of a sudden he can sell it for much higher margin than what he previously could. So how do you differentiate your product? How do you change your product to add more value onto it? So think about your businesses, guys. How do you change it? How do you add something onto it? How do you morph it? How do you change your marketing message to add value so you can increase the price? So you don't compete on price, you compete on value. Very, very important.
Good. Thanks for explaining that to us. I think what there's also a saying which says, if people are complaining about price, they don't actually see the value of your product. So that's kind of what I just wanted to get everyone to know. Cool. So Eugene, business coaching. There's quite a big misperception out there of exactly what's a business coach. Some people would think that a business coach is going to give them advice. Other guys, a mentor. Take us through explain to us what's the difference between a consultant, a mentor, and a coach for everyone that's here.
So a consultant, as Willie mentioned, we do digital marketing. We do e-commerce stores, etc. So our prices start at about 12,500 Rand once off. We are then a consultant. So you pay us 12,500 Rand, we build your funnel for you. So the bigger companies that we do the work for, we go in as consultants, not as coaches, not as advisors, not as partners, anything. We are consultants. They pay us to select a specific product or service, and then we deliver that product or service so for that particular outcome. So if you pay a consultant, they come in as a speciality, a marketing consultant, a finance consultant, a business consultant, whatever it is for that particular problem that you want to solve, they come in as a consultant. A mentor is someone that's done exactly what you do. So if you're in accounting, you'll go find a mentor that's got an accounting business that's at a place where you want to get to, and they tell you basically how they do it. The problem with that is everyone is conditioned differently. We've got different cultures, beliefs, upbringings, fears, everything. So if I, for example, tell Willie, hey, dude, let's sell this thing for 10 grand. Willie's going to tell me, no, let's sell it for 50. I'm like, no, we can't sell it for 50. How can you sell it for 50? That's our own conditioning. That's our own thoughts. That's that little voice in your head when you're doing something. My voice sounds like my mother-in-law, but little voice. Now,
Monster-in-law.
Voice. That little voice that just said, what little voice? That little voice.
Yeah.
So we've got that little voice that conditions us. And he did it based on his personality profile, his strengths, his weaknesses, what he's good at, what's his background. Maybe he had a different business, and now you want to go do it the same. It's not going to work. So a coach comes in, and a coach is there to help you unlock your own potential, discover your own path. I use this metaphor. Imagine you wake up one morning and you start climbing this mountain. And you realize this is going to take a month and a half to climb this mountain. And you start climbing up this mountain, and you go up and up and up this mountain. And some days it's raining, and some days you're struggling, and your clothes are worn, and your water's getting finished, and you're struggling to get up this mountain. And a month and a half later, through all this turmoil, you reach the top of the mountain, and you stand there, and you're overlooking this valley with all this mountains and this beautiful valley and this rainforest. And then you realize, oh shit, I climbed the wrong mountain. And that's how business is. You follow a mentor and you follow their advice and you do what they do, and you get to the top and you realize you climbed the wrong mountain. So
it's kind of you follow their journey, right? It's not really your journey.
Everyone's on their own journey. Don't follow someone else's journey. Follow your own journey. Discover your own journey. The first point of change is awareness. 90% of people don't have awareness. They don't know that they need to change. They don't know that there is something to change. You first need to be aware that there's something to change before you can change. So I'll try and keep this not too confusing. But it's a process of learning, and I've been on this journey for 7 years. So I've learned quite a lot about how our mind works and how we motivate ourselves. And at the end of the day, sorry, really, carry on.
And that's and you also focused quite a lot on mindset, and that's something which we talk about every single day. And I was going to ask you, what's the benefits of being a coach? But I think one of the biggest benefits is those guys can help you to change your mindset, to take things to the next level. So just talk to us a bit more about mindset and how important is mindset within this entrepreneurial journey. And maybe we spoke about this a while ago, and I think it's something worth mentioning. You were explaining to me is what's the difference between a business owner that's got a 100K turnover business and a business owner. Please take us through those steps, please.
So I'll ask it, guys. Type in the comments there next to us, please. Imagine here's a graph. I don't have anything to make a graph here. So imagine this is your y-axis and the x-axis. At this point, this is the starting point. And there's lines going up like that. No, it needs to be lines. So we have the lines that's going up. And that is the path of the entrepreneur. Yes. So everyone's starting, if you look at the left bottom corner, there's 3 entrepreneurs, start exactly the same place, same conditioning, same culture, same beliefs, everything. They start their business. 5 years later, the one business made a 5 million turnover for the year. The next business made a 10 million turnover, and the next business made a 100 million turnover. What is the difference between those 2 businesses? They start at the same place, same background, same amount of money, same country, same high school, everything. One business, 5 years later, the one business is doing 5 million, the other one 10, the other one 100. What's the difference? Type in the comments, what do you think is the difference between those 3 businesses? So there's quite a few different things that we can do. I think the comments take a bit of time to come through. So while it comes through, some of it might be strategy. It might be the team. It might be the vision. It might be the connections. It might be the people that they connected with. Out of all of that can all be grouped to one thing, the mindset of the entrepreneur. Who chose the team? Who chose the strategy? Who built the network? Who made the sacrifices? Who put in the effort? All the owner of the business, the entrepreneur of the business. So every single business is a reflection of you. If your mind is screwed, or it's not in the right place, you're demotivated, you're angry, you're negative, what do you think your business is going to look like? If you're positive, you're pumped up, you're motivated, you're following your habits that you're supposed to follow. You're joining the groups that you're supposed to join. You're building the connections that you're supposed to build connections with, and you're doing your duty. Doing your duty means, are you doing the physical activities every single day, mental activities? Are you meditating? Are you exercising? Are you looking after your morning rituals? Are you doing your daily affirmations? Are you doing all the things that you need to do to be able to be successful? And if you're not, your business is going to reflect that.
Cool. And Eugene, is it, I think we've grown up with this fallacy of this is what your life's like and this is the journey you need to take. Is it true that that you're actually in control of this and can someone actually change to start taking this path to changing mindsets and going on this this journey of being a successful entrepreneur?
So my business coach, absolutely phenomenal guy. I had 3 or 4 coaches in the period of about 4 months, and I realized, which I'll tell you about a bit later, is how do you select a coach? Because I wasted over 100,000 Rand on the wrong coaches in the period of 4 months. I spent over 100,000 in 4 months on coaches. In any case, so going through this journey of this personal development, I sat with him and I'm like, yes. Like every time I learn something, there's something else that I don't know. So there's the saying, you don't know what you don't know until you know what you don't know. And only when you know what you don't know, then you know what you don't know. So basically what Once you get to the stage and you learn something new, this whole new world opens up. And it's like, wow, I don't even know this stuff existed. So only when you know what you don't know, then all the other stuff opens up, that all the things that you still have to learn. And he's 62. He takes a year off from work, from everything. He retired when he was 44. He takes a year off. He just does coaching now as a as a passion. So he charges quite a couple of grand per hour. So he's quite expensive.
It sells the value.
Yeah. So he takes an entire year off to find himself at the age of 62. I'm like, dude, what the hell? And it tells me, Eugene, the self-discovery. You know what self-discovery is? It's unlearning what you were taught in the first 7 years of your life. You get conditioned in the first 7 years of your life, and it takes the rest of your life to uncondition that, to unlearn the stuff that you were taught. So he used this metaphor. Do you know there's no such thing as right or wrong? There's only choices and consequences. Every choice has a consequence. If you kill someone, you go to jail. If you swear someone, they'll probably punch you. So there's no right or wrong. It's what's right or wrong for you.
Yes.
And I told him, how is that possible? I don't understand it. So he used this metaphor. He said, so yeah, we get very religious side of things. No disrespect to religions, just proving a point. And on the opposite side, we get an Eskimo. I don't know how true it is. This is just a story. I'm paraphrasing what he told me. When you go to an Eskimo, you have to sleep with his wife the first night that you sleep over. It's disrespectful if you don't. Then in between, we've got all those different religions with multiple wives and open relationships and polyamory, and I don't even know what you call all the different things. And then you get the opposite side where you meet someone, you have to marry them. You're only allowed to sleep with them once you get married, and once you get married, you have to stay married for the rest of your life. Now we've got these two extreme opposites with everything in between. What's right, what's wrong? It's whatever you were taught in the first 7 years of your life.
Yes.
So it takes the rest of our life to unlearn what we were taught in the first 7 years.
Oh, great. Thanks for that insight, man. So, Eugene, we've heard about some of the benefits. Give us a couple of more benefits of business coaching before you're actually going to tell everyone how do you get a proper business coach. But tell us a bit more about the other benefits of having a business coach.
So one thing that I do want to say is, what's the purpose of life? Again, just type in the comments there if you have anything. What's the purpose of life? Why are we living? What is it that we are striving towards? What is it? Why are we working? Why do we try and make more money? Why do we try and make impact? What is the purpose of life? Willie, you want to take a stab at it?
Sure. Putting me on the spot now. So the purpose of life.
What's the purpose? Why are you living? Why are you chasing this? Why do you do it?
So for me, the purpose is to help other people not make the same mistakes as what I did, especially in this entrepreneurship journey.
Why?
Why? So that everyone else can enjoy the same benefits.
Why?
Because I think everyone deserves it.
I'm putting you on the spot. So that's part of what coaching is about. If you keep going down and you have someone that can ask intelligent questions, you get down to your true purpose. You get down to your true meaning. Life is about meaning. So there's a great saying, the meaning of life is to give it meaning. Life itself is meaningless. It's your purpose to give it meaning. And if you don't give it meaning, we blame everyone else around us, the country and the government and our wives and our girlfriends and all that. You don't love me enough, now I feel bad about myself. It's not her job to make you feel good. You need to feel good yourself. It's not his job to make you feel good. It's not his job
I think it's important. Everything starts with oneself, right?
So the meaning of life, the purpose of life is to give it meaning. And the purpose of life is to get to a point, for me, it's to get to a point of peace where you're extremely peaceful. You don't get stressed. You don't get angry. nothing materialistic affects your emotional state. You are in control of your emotional state. Someone else, their actions and their emotion shouldn't affect your emotional state. A physical object shouldn't affect your emotional state. And that's when you reach a point of peace. There's a thing where they measure vibrations. Love is, for everyone else, if you ask them, what's like the highest feeling you can get? What's the highest vibration that you can get? What's the highest point of happiness that you can achieve? When love is about happiness, what's the highest point of happiness that you can achieve? And people say to be in love. There's only one vibration higher than love, peace. So the purpose of life is to find peace and then give it meaning.
Sure.
People don't
And
know.
And a coach is typically someone that can help you to find that meaning, right? Good.
I'd probably say a coach is the only one that can help you find that meaning. I don't think there's anyone. A properly trained business coach, NLP business coach, is probably the only person that can help an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Cool, Eugene. So we are almost running out of time, and we want to give guys some chance to answer some questions. So tell us, what advice can you give to guys that's looking for a business coach? Just 3 things.
Yeah, Willie, that I got now a few days ago that I can play. So you want to know what's someone else's perspective that they're going to get out of coaching. I just want to quickly see if I can find it here. Let me just drag it in here. Let's see if it plays.
Hi, my name's Tiffany, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Eugene and recommend that if you are looking for a coach, that you definitely use Eugene. He has been instrumental in my business and helping me get through my sales funnels and all the back end stuff that I needed to do to get my business off the ground. And his coaching style is amazing. Honestly, he's the best coach that I've ever used. His ability to get right to the root issue and address what needs to be done right now and clear the fog, give clarity, but he does it in a way that is both considerate and also direct. So you're able to really feel comfortable talking to him, and yet he also will push you to get done the things that need to get done in the right order. So if you are in the market for a coach, honestly, I highly, highly recommend using Eugene.
So yeah, just a quick thing. So that will give you a bit of better perspective. Someone, she says it quite clearly, someone that pushes you, but in boundaries. So there's a thing called SCARF. So if your certainty, security, autonomy, relatedness, or fairness gets affected, you go into your reptile brain, where you fight or flight. As soon as you go into fight or flight, you learn nothing. Your mind deletes all information that comes after that. The only point of that is survival. So when you're having this heated argument, it's pointless. People don't listen. They delete all information that goes in. So it's, how does a coach push you to achieve your maximum potential, but still keeping you safe, still keeping you in the SCARF model so you don't go into your fight or flight response mode?
Yeah, and then it sort of is there. A lot of guys think they will judge you. So it's really also, I also get coaching. So it's really a safe place. A lot of guys actually compare it to a psychiatrist or those type of sessions. It's actually part of that industry, but yeah, so it's quite a safe place. We can actually go and unpack, and and they're not there to judge you. They're there to help you to go to the next level.
No judgment, safe, it's confidential.
Cool. Eugene, so I think the big question for everyone is, what would you expect to pay for a decent coach? And maybe take us through these various types of levels for the various types of level entrepreneurs, if I may call it that. Yeah, so just quickly run us through that before we jump into the questioning.
So I think it's important to get the right coach. So selecting your coach, you need to have someone that's got a business background. If you're going for business coaching, they need to have a business background. They need to have other businesses outside of the coaching business. Crucial. They need to have some sort of coaching diploma, and have a look at the diploma. There's so many guys, when I started looking for coaches, then I get coached by this person, only to realize he's 23, he's never had a business, he was a real estate agent before that, and he didn't sell anything, so he did a 3-day online course, and now he's a coach. So you can get those guys for about $450 to $650 an hour. Any registered coach, you're probably looking at about 1,200 to 1,800 Rand an hour. There's different levels as well. That's for one-on-one coaching. Then you get mastermind groups. So our mastermind group for my coach, we charge $1,200 per month. And that's for one session a month where we sit for 3 or 4 hours, 10 people per group. So we either connect on a Zoom call or we connect we meet up in my boardroom or something like that. So that's about $1,200 per month. That's what we charge for our mastermind on my coach. So similar to the mastermind that everyone else is in. That's what I'm saying. Guys, do you understand the value you get? But anyway, so that's masterminds. Masterminds can go up. There's Roger Hamilton's Crystal Circle.
250,000 per year.
I think it went up to 250,000 per year now. So that's different. For my coaching, I've got a 6-month package. I don't sell per hour because then guys do a session and they disappear, and then they come back and they disappear. Coaching only works if there's consistency. The same as everything else in business. There needs to be consistency. I've been seeing my coach for 8 years now on a consistent basis. I don't miss sessions. Yeah. So it needs to have that consistency. So I charge 15,000 for my starter package, and that's for 6-month coaching, and then it's 1 or 2 sessions a month, and there's work stuff in between and so forth. There's a starting package, and then it goes up to about 85,000 for 6 months. It depends on the level of interaction and the amount of time that you want from me, especially one-on-one. Do you want it in person? Do you want it on Zoom? In general, I'd probably say you'd pay between 1,200 and 1,800 Rand per hour for a decent coach. Okay. If you're paying less than that, then they're probably not that good. If you're paying more than that, then it's overpriced. Then there needs to be some sort of additional value.
Oh, no. Okay. No, thanks for sharing that information.
I pay 4,200 Rand for some of my sessions. So.
Yeah, they got expensive. And cool. Eugene, so before we start taking questions, the last thing that I wanted to ask, what's 3 pieces of advice that you can give any person that's starting off with business?
The first one is to start.
Yeah, that's important.
I speak to so many people that friends, family, acquaintances. No, I'm going to start my business. I've got this idea of starting a business. Your idea basically means zero. Your idea is going to change 10 times as you go through your business. It's going to change. You're going to change into different products. Your idea is not important. The important thing is you start. So number 1 is to start. Number 2 is perseverance. It's very difficult to beat someone that never stops.
Exactly. Grit.
It's going to be crap. It's going to have really crappy times where you feel like throwing in the towel. It's called the entrepreneur roller coaster. It's this up and down thing. You're going to feel ecstatic on some days, and other days you're going to feel horrible. So it's this up and down roller coaster. You have to get through that. Eventually it does get better. Trust me, it does get better. I didn't think it was going to get better. It does get better. So I've been in business for 10 years, multiple businesses, 3 or 4 that's failed, 5 that's made a decent success. So it does get better. And then the last one would probably be, I keep going on about this, but that's how important it is for me, is your network. Your network is your net worth. If you don't have that people, if you're coming home to negative people that's going to tell you all the reasons that you can't do it, they're actually telling themselves why you can't do it. Because if you're successful, then it means they are doing something wrong. So they want you to be unsuccessful. Otherwise, they have to change. They don't want to change. People want to stay in their comfort zone. So it's so difficult to get discouraged if you're hanging around with the wrong people. Find people. There's a thing I posted on our mastermind group as well. If the people around you aren't talking positive, they're not talking entrepreneurship, they're not talking fitness, they're not talking personal growth, find a different group. Find different people to hang out with. So start, perseverance, check who you're spending your time with. Your thoughts that you think, your words that you use, and your actions that you portray is critical for your business, for your mindset, for your motivation. If you hang around the wrong people, you're going to have the wrong thoughts, you're going to have the wrong words, you're going to have the wrong action. I'm out.
Cool. Eugene, thank you very much for your time and sharing your story with everyone. I think if you guys actually have a question for Eugene, just pop it there in the chat box before we jump off. Eugene, I think Sonia had a question. Maybe what is red flags that isn't not your coach or right coach for you? I guess it's what are the red flags that you will see if this coach is not for you? Maybe you can answer that. I hope that's the question.
So they give you advice if they're not on a journey of continuous growth and learning. So if they're not telling you what they did for personal growth and learning, if they're not working on their mind, their thoughts, their words, their actions, if they're not working on it, they're not going to do it for you. Very, very important. A coach is not there to give you advice. If I tell you go ride a bicycle around the block 10 times every morning, that's the best thing you can do for your business. The first time you fall off, you're going to stop riding. See, I told you it's not going to work. If you discover it for yourself, you'll go and ride no matter how cold, hot, warm, whatever. You'll ride that thing. No matter how many times you fall, you'll get back up and you'll continue riding. That's the purpose of a coach, is to help you discover what is your passion, what is your truth, what is your why, what is your purpose, what is your meaning, and helping you to then analyze those things. So a coach needs to understand financial stuff as well. I see so many coaches out there, they don't know what an income statement is. They don't know what's a balance sheet. They don't know what's the difference between gross profit, net profit. How the hell are you going to coach someone on the financials of the business if you don't know how to read an income statement? So
extremely important.
Where the business side of things is very important. So Willie actually does all my clients that does from the financial side. I understand it. Willie's better at it. So I send them to Willie to have their financial coaching done. So you need to have that financial background. You need to have the business background. Do not accept advice. If someone sits there, okay, I'll tell you what you need to do. That's not a coach.
Yeah.
Coach.
So important.
Their mentality, their background, their beliefs, so personality profiling, creator, star. So one person's really good starting a business, very bad at finishing a business. You've got other guys that's very detail orientated. They want structure. Then you get other personality profiles. They hate structure, but they're good at completing a thing. Tell me what's the end result you want. I'll go and complete it. Now someone's this profile, you are this profile, and they want to tell you what to do. It's not going to work, guys. Don't take advice from people. They need to help you get clarity in your mind. That's what they're there to do, not to give you advice. Tell us about
Eugene.
Yeah, my internet connection was bad. Melita,
maybe I must publish the link.
Yeah, maybe just pop up the thing. If you want to join, it's like I say, it's $750 once off. We charge for EHQ $450. My coach, we charge $950. We started, we moved it up to $1,200 now per month. So it's $750 once off joining fee, and then you get the course on how to launch your e-commerce store, online store, build sales funnels, how to run your Facebook ad. Really built a cash flow course that's in there as well. The course is there to give you the background. Otherwise, you're not going to understand what we talk about.
What we're talking about.
A lot of people see the course is the value. The course isn't the value. The group is the value. That's where the value is. We sell it. So here's a tip for everyone. Sell them what they want. Give them what they need. We know what our members need. It's going to make them successful. That's not necessarily the thing that will make someone purchase. So we sell the course. The course is there to help you understand the lingo, help you understand what is a sales funnel, what is a lead magnet, what is your cost per acquisition, what is your click-through rate. If you don't understand these things, how can we coach you? So I don't coach anyone. You have to apply to get coached by me because you have to be at a certain emotional level. But if you don't understand these things, how can we help you? And that's what the course is there. It's to give you a background of how do you set up a sales funnel? How do you set up landing pages? What's the purpose of your e-commerce store? All those sort of things. So, Willie, I don't know if you put up the offer.
Yeah, I put the offer there.
Group. So myself and Willie run the group. We, the owners of Entrepreneur HQ, we've got a team. So we posted a picture on the team as well. So we've got graphic designers and e-commerce builders and technical guys and all that sort of stuff that works for us as well. They're part of the group as well. But in general, it's the group should support each other. It's a group about supporting each other on their continuous journey for growth, personal development, and to lift the emotional. So there's a thing called collective consciousness. In a group, everyone becomes the average of the person that they spend their time with. So each country has their own collective consciousness. Each culture has their Afrikaans, English, Zulu, Xhosa, whatever. Everyone has
religion.
their own consciousness. Every religion has their own consciousness. So it's a collective consciousness of the people that you spend your time with. That's what we're trying to do. We're creating a new consciousness. We're creating a new collective consciousness through the Entrepreneur Mastermind group.
Yep.
That's what we're trying to do. That's where the value is, guys. And it's value that's going to be there for the next couple of years. But it's going to take you 2 years before you really start noticing. And you're going to look back to 2 years back and be like, oh, I can't believe the progress that I've made, how far I've come. It's just really, really cool.
Cool, guys. Thank you very much for joining.
We must actually I'll send everyone, just remind me tomorrow morning. I've got a dinner on and stuff tonight, guys. In our WhatsApp group, just remind me tomorrow morning. I'll send there's a free personality profile test that I found. The other one's better, but it's about $1,600. But I found a free one as well that's really good. So just remind me on our Mastermind group, then I'll send the link out to you guys tomorrow morning.
Cool, guys. Thank you very much, Eugene, for sharing all this knowledge.
Hope you guys found value out of it. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys learned how to find a coach. So if you need a coach, I mean, myself and Willie are registered coaches. We registered international coaches. I'm registered with ICR and all that sort of stuff. If you're interested in it, let us know. Otherwise, if you're looking for a different coach, hopefully now you know how to select your coach and what can you pay for your coach and what's the purpose of coaching. Honestly, I don't think any entrepreneur should be without a coach. Every entrepreneur should have a coach.
Yeah, good. Eugene, thank you very much for your time. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Please, we'll see you next week on the show. And please, invite people. Cool.
My business partner, my man, Willie van Dijk. Cool, guys. Enjoy.
Cool, guys. Keep well. Bye.